Hello everyone, I'm Angeline Idros Reyes from BSPA 1B. For today's lesson, we tackled about self-awareness and value staycation. Introduction. Each one of us is responsible to ourselves, but there are times we face difficulties in recognizing those roles. We need to understand and realize who we are. One way to understand this is conceive it as a personal role in our daily life. In our daily life, we need to understand that we have a unique role to play because each one of us has individual difference. Each role has a responsibility that we need to face and a decision to make. Batid natin na meron tayong pang araw-araw na obligasyon na dapat natin tuparin kahit na ito ay mahirap. At dapat natin kilalanin na mayroon tayong personal na bahagi sa ating pang-araw-araw na buhay na dapat nating maunawaan. At alam natin lahat na bawat isa ay may pagkakaiba, may iba't ibang mga obligasyon. Objectives. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to understand the key concept of self-awareness. B. Recognize your personality, strength, and preference, and write a poem that describes your own personality. D. Develop an understanding and cultivating self-awareness. E. Know to the benefits and self-awareness, how to develop your emotional system. The last is create a bucket list that can help you improve your self-consciousness. The areas of self-awareness. It's a very crucial task for a person to know him or herself. Seeing the idea of self-awareness will help you to understand your personality. When the certain person know him or herself, it is easy to him or herself to identify things or tasks he or she can certainly do. What do you think about yourself creates your idea of self-awareness? Self-awareness is understanding one's own or individual personality. Self often refers to yourself, him or herself, and oneself. It refers to the person in prime condition. As an entire person or individual, awareness is defined as showing realization, participation, and knowledge of one growth. Naintindihan naman natin na ang pinakamahalagang bagay ay kilalanin ng ating sarili dahil kung ano tayo sa ating sarili ay yun ang nakikita ng ibang tao sa atin. At kapag kilala natin ang ating sarili, madali nating matukoy ang mga bagay o aksyon na dapat gawin. At ang kamalayan sa sarili ay pag-unawa sa sarili o pagkatao sa isang individual. At nakasaad dito na ang kondisyon ay tinutukoy bilang isang tao at ang kamalayan ay nilarawan bilang pagpapakita ng pagkasatuparan, pakikilahok at kaalaman sa sariling pag-unlad, kaya mahalagang pag-aralan at alamin. Goals and benefits of self-awareness. While everybody has a clear understanding of self-awareness, we don't know exactly where it comes from, what its foundation are, or why some of us appear to have more or less of it than others. We can go through our day without giving our inner selves any extra consideration, only thinking and feeling, doing as we like, but we can also center our attention of that inner self. Goals and benefits of self-awareness ay nagpapahiwatig na ang ating pangunawa sa kamalayan sa sarili ay kompleto. At maaari tayo magpatuloy sa ating aktibidad na hindi nag-iisip ng anumang labis na pag-iisip sa ating panloob na sarili. Analysis. We all know that we have to do something every day, especially if we have a job or studying. So we must set time for each of our tasks so that we do not cry or cannot complete everything. Mindfulness. That state or attribute of being mindful of something. Create journals. Making a journals may help you relieve stress since you can write and enjoy events in your life. And if you don't have anything to say, you can write here to make yourself feel better. Learn to listen. Learn to listen, especially it is a good for you because we sometimes understand things better when we are told. And because you know how to listen, you will find easier to get along with others. The last is feedback. Communication of evaluation or corrective information regarding an action, event, or process to the source of origin or control. Self-awareness is a powerful resource that we can do better when practiced consistently. To bring meaningful and positive change, people need to be able to look inward of familiarize themselves with the inner environment. Now we have a mind of ways to cultivating our self-awareness. We know that self-awareness look like a grow. There are many ways to develop self-awareness and practice it, but below are some of the most powerful ways. The first one is be aware of what upsets you about others. Second is practice meditation. Meditation is a practice in which a person trains attention and awareness by focusing the mind on a certain object, thought, and action. Third is draw your own timeline. 4. Find time to write out your beliefs and find enough time for you to write down your beliefs. 5. Ask for feedbacks in order to determine what they have understood and learned. Obtain feedback. What are the benefits of self-awareness? There are many benefits of self-awareness, so I am only going to mention some of the most important positive to come from our self-awareness. The first one is better relationship with others. It's hard to say in a relationship what we want and need because we're not really focused on those issues ourselves. What more, the less self-awareness we have, the easier it is to become insecure in our relationship with others, which in any kind of relationship in a side of disaster. If you want to strengthen your relationship, begin by being more self-aware. Since sabi man na maganda o mabuti ang trato natin sa ating kapwa, babalik sa atin ito dahil marunong tayong makisama. Maraming mga problema ang tao, dapat nasa tama ang pag-iisip kung maganda ang magiging pakikisama ng kapwa natin. At kilala din natin ang ating mga sarili, dapat rin na tayong maging aware sa ating ugali dahil ang ating ugali ay ang pakikisamahan ng ibang tao, kaya dapat maganda ang iyong ugali lalo na sa kapwa mo tao. The second is know to control your moods. We need to set our moods, and the way we continue to act depends mostly on how we want to think and behave. As we strengthen our understanding of the relationship between thoughts, actions, and emotion, our emotion and moods are easier to control. We must know how to control our mood because if we don't control it properly, we will be bad trip and we can still feel a different person moods. In order to be stable people, we must know how to control our moods, and we should have a wide understanding of action, emotion to make it easier for us to control our moods. The third is better decision making. Always clear mind whenever we make decision. Bad decision making result from moderate thoughts and strong emotion reaction. So we need to be more aware of our thoughts and feeling patterns. We can discern more readily between short-term urge of desires and long-term values and priorities. Here in number 3, we must make a good decision because it is important. Why? Because making decision can confuse you or a strong emotional reaction because making a decision is easy because sometimes we make mistakes, so we must have a better decision making to avoid wrong decisions. Number 4, communicate effectively. It makes easier to connect with any area of life, whether it's with a friend, boss at work, and family, to have a better understanding of what we believe and what we really want. The more we know ourselves, the easier it to interact with confidence, to be frank about what we want, and to be respectful of others' wishes. It is also important to communicate well with others people like friends, bosses, especially with the family because here we can understand and better in relationship with there is a good communication. And for us to have a better understanding of what we believe and what you really want. And last, if we know ourselves, we will not have difficulty because we have relating to others like if you are respectful, others can do it for us and what others are right, we must also respect it. The last is rising efficiency. A lack of ambition or dedication is not the most common cause of procrastination and low productivity. Its inference from ourselves if we're struggling to get to work, it typically because our feelings, emotions, and behaviors get in the way on some stage. Improving self-awareness will help to remove many of those secret productivity barriers. Number 5, the lack of ambition or dedication is not a reason for you to grow productive because you know that today there are many stress, so someone cannot get to work well because they have a heavy leg. And rising efficiency will help you improve you and remove all your stress in life. The next is values education. Developing Filipino values. One moral responsibility of having a life is living your dreams to the fullest. If a person has a particular life to live, then he or she has a basic responsibility toward it. He or she should know how to play his role in society. And social being, we need to know how to interact with others. We are also capable of having concern for others. At the heart of Filipino ideas, and psychology lies and toward kapwa or a mutual inner self. An individual who treats other as a kapwa has a sense of uniqueness. Objectives. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to develop an understanding of cultivating self-awareness, know the benefits of self-awareness, how to develop your emotional system. Then the third is create a bucket list that can help you to improve your self-consciousness. Analysis. To increase self-consciousness, you need to cultivate it. Family is the one of the source of strength and weaknesses at the individual. In the gifts of security, when we are at home, children are not expected to leave the house of their parents until they get married themselves. And even after the many couples choose to live with or either their parents or their spouses, they are often supposed to take care of their elderly parents. Our faith in God is our source of strength and courage. The next is roots of Filipino character. The first one is culture. Culture is important because it is the way we live in our country. Environmental. The Philippines have a tropical and marine climate. It is a pretty high temperature, high humidity, and a lot of rain. The next is religion. And the last is history. Filipinos also have a history that will never be forgotten, so it must to be repeated so that we can learn something. These lines, we will tackle about things we should know about Filipino values. The first one is respectful. We are always taught how to be polite by using these basic catchphrases. Po and opo. Words that end sentences when approaching parents right from the moment we are brought into this world. They have a tradition of pagmamano, which is where they lift the back of their elders' hands at the show of reverence to their foreheads. Alam naman natin na kilala ang mga Pilipino sa pagiging magalang, lalo na sa gamit ng po at opo. Karaniwang ginagamit ito sa mga nakakatanda sa atin. And sinasabi din dito na ang pagmamano ay tradisyon siya dito sa bansa natin. Ginagamit ang pagmamano sa paggalang sa mga nakakatanda katulad ng magulang, ninong at nina, lolo at lola, tita at tito. Alam naman natin na kung paano ito ginagawa. Ang pagmamano ay aabutin mo ang kamay ng nakakatanda sa iyo, hawakan mo din, idadampi mo ang kanilang kamay sa iyong noo. Yan ang kadalasang makikita natin sa mga Pilipino na mga magagalang. The next is religious. The world's third largest Catholic community is located in the Philippines, where the religion of Catholicism is strong, more than 2,000 inhabitants. In Islam from the Philippines and large islands also have a numerous regional and local population. Filipino Catholicism is influenced by the local indigenous tradition and by the Spanish who invaded in during the 60th century and controlled it until the beginning of 20th. Until now, each Sunday or something 2 or 3 days a week, every family goes to church. Sasabi naman dito na ang Pilipino din ay mga religious dahil sa Pilipinas makikita ang world third largest Catholic community.
Kaya kilala ang mga Pilipino sa pagiging religious, and sinasabi din dito na na-impluwensyahan tayo ng mga Spaniards noong 60th century. Hanggang ngayon, marami pa rin sa atin ng mga kababayan ng religious. Isa na ako doon. And tuwing Sunday or minsan 2 or 3 araw sa isang linggo, nagsisimba ang bawat pamilya. Ugaliin natin maging religious o ipagpatuloy lang natin kasi mahalaga ito. Dahil si God ang lumikha sa atin, hindi natin ang pasasalamat at humingi ng tawad sa mga nagagawa natin kasalanan sa salita man o sa gawa. The third is helpful Filipinos support each other without asking too much in return, so their duties and obligations are made even easier to pursue. It is more popular known as bayanihan. This is a heart of the culture. And kilala din ng mga Pilipino sa pagiging matulungin at nagsusuportahan sa bawat isa. And hindi din sila humihingi ng kapalit kapag sila ay tumutulong. Laging malubag sa kanilang mga puso ang pagtulong sa kapwa at kilala ito bilang bayanihan sa ating bansa. Ngayon pansin natin na kahit maraming problema ang isang tao dito sa atin, may mga taong tutulong talaga upang malagpasan ito, and kapag tinulungan ka ng mga tao yun, magpasalamat ka dahil kahit sa salitang salamat, matutuwa sila dito, at kontento dapat tayo sa simpleng salamat or hindi tayo humihingi ng any kapalit. The fourth is family-oriented. It is a family first in the Philippines. So, whether are part of the extended family or are part of the third or fourth generation, you are regarded as a member of the family. Even the closest friends are sometimes considered to be family. Ang mga Pilipino ay family-oriented. Dahil kahit ano pa ang iyong lagay, basta part ka ng pamilya, kahit na pinalawak o bahagi ka ng third or fourth generation, ituturing ka pa rin nilang pamilya. Kahit na hindi ka nila kadugo, kapag napamahal sila sa iyo, ituturing ka talaga nilang parang pamilya. Katulad ng kaibigan, minsan ituturing na silang pamilya, lalo na pag matagal na ang kanilang friendship. The last is tradition and culture. Tradition at home and family are important for Filipinos. Usually, they set aside a special day for events such as celebration, birthday parties, gatherings, etc. And each gathering is of course dedicated to keeping up with each other. Pero din ang bansa natin bilang Pilipinas sa mga tradisyon ng kultura, dahil ito ay mahalaga. Ang ilang halimbawa sa mga tradisyon sa ating bansa ay kasalan, fiesta, binyag. Ito ay isang pagtitipon ng mga tao na magkakamustahan o may program. Madalas kasing masiyahin ang mga Pilipino lalo na sa mga tradisyon dahil nakasanayan ito sa ating bansa.
Again, I'm Angeline Idros Reyes from BSBA 1B. I hope na marami kayong natutunan and have a great day and keep safe always. God bless.